Hello, one and all. Welcome to today's Electronic Circuit Simulation online audit course. Today, we will see yet another op-amp based circuit, that is current to voltage converter, and we'll simulate one of its application also, that is 4-bit DAC in LT-SPICE simulation. So, let us look at the outline of this lecture. Okay, so the first thing which we will study is the concept of current to voltage conversion. Then we will make a circuit in LT-SPICE of a I to V converter using op-amp. We'll study its basic limitation. Then we'll move on to high sensitivity I to V converter, which will overcome the basic I to V converter limitation. And lastly, we'll see one circuit application of I to V converter, that is 4-bit digital to analog converter, that is called as 4-bit DAC. So let us directly begin with the topic. Okay, so now we will see the concept of current to voltage conversion. So first we'll see why we require current to voltage conversion. So some circuits produces output voltage in the form of current. So it will be easier to convert this current into voltage for further processing. In this lecture, we'll see this example why we require this current to be converted into voltage in case of a 4-bit DAC. So current to voltage conversion can be achieved by simply passing a current through a resistor. So you see this side of the screen over here. So if you simply pass a current through a resistor, you may convert it into a voltage. So let me just okay. So what I was pointing was, if you connect a simple circuit like this, and if you pass a current through a current source to a resistor, you will get a voltage. So there is a simple current to voltage conversion. So, but there is a problem over here. So, what is the problem? We'll discuss now. So, let's say this simple source current to voltage conversion is connected to a circuit that is an amplifier circuit. Now, as we know, amplifier circuit has input impedance and so on and so forth. So what will happen is this simple approach of just passing a current through a resistor will not work, because this amplifier, as you can see inside this box, this is a model of a linear model of an amplifier. So this amplifier has a finite resistance, the input impedance or the resistance. So when you pass this current through this resistor, so this resistance also will come in parallel. So my output VO1, which should be Is into R, will not be equal to the current into resistance, but will be equal to this current into the parallel combination of these two resistance. So that will not be an accurate conversion of a current into a voltage. That is why we don't follow this technique. So we will look out for some circuitry which will have a very high input impedance, and that circuit is of op-amp. So let us check that. So let us see how the op-amp will solve this problem. Okay, so this is a simple current to voltage converter. It is also called as I to V converter. Now, this is also called as trans resistance amplifier. Let me make it a little clear to you. So the gain of this circuit will be given by V out divided by Is, because Is is the input current and V out is the output current, and this has the unit of this gain is equal to gain of this circuit is equal to, that is V out upon Is, and this has the unit of impedance or resistance. Hence this circuit is also called as trans resistance amplifier. Now let us look at the circuitry. So basically you have a current source. Now this is not a ideal current source, it's a practical current source. So how do you define a practical current source? You have a current source in parallel with its finite impedance, which is a very high impedance, mind you. So Rs is actually a very high value. So this is my current source, which is feeded to the inverting input terminal of the op-amp, and op-amp has this feedback resistor connected between the input and the output, and here the non-inverting terminal is grounded. So this simple looking circuit will actually convert a current into a voltage. Now instead of elaborating it more, let us directly go into LT-Spice and implement this circuitry. Okay, so we are in the LT-Spice environment. So we'll select a new schematic, and we will be using the op-amp. So we have to select the op-amp from the library. So we type here OP07 and we place it on the screen like this. So we require a resistor over here. So that resistor I have to invert it. So we'll press Ctrl R and I'll place it over here. Next, what I will do is I need to select a current source. So basically I will select a current source from here. I'll type here current. So this will give me a already existing current source from the library, and I'll place it over here. And now I need to join them. Obviously this current source is not an ideal current source. So I have to connect a series resistance, a parallel resistance to it. And now I will do the connections for it. Now this I can connect it to the resistors like this, and this is become my current source, and I'll add the ground later. First let me do the connections for this resistor RF, that is the feedback resistor. So reminding you, we are building a current to voltage converter. So here the positive terminal, the non-inverting terminal will also go to ground. So I will connect it to ground like this, and this will also go to the ground. I'll adjust the screen, and I have to add the voltage sources. So I'll go here and type voltage and add two voltage sources. Remember, op-amp requires a dual power supply. So let me just do the connections and label them properly and add the common ground. The ground will go here, and let me just join this ground with a wire. Now I will label the upper terminal node as VCC and the lower terminal as VE, and I'll give the supply voltage as 15 volts here, and this will automatically be taken as minus 15. Now let me just do the connections here also. So here I have here I will type VCC, and let me just push this value of resistor a little side so that there is no confusion. This is VCC and this is VE. Okay, so we are ready with most of the cases. Now we have to decide the value of these resistances and the current sources. So let us do that. Okay, so let us select the value of this current source as 0.1 milliamperes. So let me take this value a little out, and let me rename this current source as current source IS. Okay, and now let me rename this to RF because it's really a sorry, oops. So let us connect it, rename it as RF, and let me give this value as around, let's say, 100K. So around 100K is the value of RF, and this is the parallel source resistance. So this value is also very high. Let us give around 10 mega ohm. So whenever you write mega ohms, you have to write capital MEG. So it will by default take those parameters. So yeah, my circuit is ready. I have to just label the output and the input. So the output is, I will call it as out over here, and this I will call it as IS. So it's important to label the input and the output nodes. So my small little circuit is ready to simulate now next. So what we will do is to simulate, we have to simulate the, that is the DC values. So I will go to simulate. First of all, I'll save this file. So I'll go to file, save as. So I will save it as I to V converter. Okay, and press on save. So this file is already saved now. Now let me simulate this. I'll click on run, and I'll click on the DC operating point, because we are really interested in the steady state output voltages and the input current. So the moment I press OK, the values will come over here. Yeah. So here the value of the value of IS is 0.0001. That is actually accounts for 0.1 milliamperes, and the value of Vout is 9.9999. So let me just write these two values over here. Okay, there is a little provision to do that. So let me just write Vout equal to 9.9999. So Vout is equal to 9.9999. So this is the simulated value which we are getting. Let me paste this value somewhere around here. Okay. So if you want the value to be written already by the circuitry on it, so what we do is we right click on this. So whenever we have simulated this, you'll get this value, close this, and click on any part of the output node where you want that value to be displayed. So the moment I clicked on it, I got that value 9.999, and when I right click on it, I should give it specific name. So this is Vout. So I click on Vout, and automatically this value has come. Now even if I move this value out, it will remain 9.999. So automatically, instead of again and again writing this Vout value by using the label terminal, we have directly got this value over here, and then we can label it easily that this value is around Vout is equal to. So that way also you can do, or you can write the values with using the text tool. And at the input side also, I will just mark it, and I got the current. I'm not sure what it is, so I have to go over here, remove this dollar sign, and I have to select IS over here. I of IS it will show you, and click on OK. So this value over here, now I can remove it from here and place it over here. So this value of this value 99.99 microamperes is nothing but the value of IS, and this value over here, that is out, that is the V out, actually 9.99 volts. So how does 9 volts have come? Now we'll describe it. I'll just fast forward the video and write few things here. Okay, yeah. So what we were trying to justify is how this value of 9.999 came, and we will see that shortly. We have to go back to our PDF. So this was the circuit which we have just now simulated, and let us check the formula. Now this circuit already we have seen. Let us check the final result. So final result is given by VO is equal to minus IS into RF. So let us write that. So V out is equal to, here in this case the current is outward, so here it will be plus. In our circuit diagram the current was inward, yeah, so this current was inward, so we were getting minus sign. So let us also do that. Let us, what we do is we'll change this thing, we'll force the current inward. So to, I have to mirror image this. So what I will do is I'll click on this, and I will do exactly like this. Okay, I'll change the direction of this current source, because then it will be as per the one given in the PDF. So looking at this circuitry now, so now it has become we are forcing the current into the circuitry from the current source. So now it's looking proper. So now the value of the output will directly come out to be let's say negative. Yeah, it's correct. So now V out will be equal to, I have to modify these things. We have just now seen it will be minus IS into RF. So IS is actually 0.1 milliamperes, into 100K, that will be around minus 10 volts. So that's what the value, that's how we get the value as 10 volts. So this simple circuit is converting my input current into output voltage just by using a simple op amp. And let us talk about let me just add that name of the circuitry. So this is a practical I to V converter using op amp. So it's very obvious we are used op amp IC OP07. So we add the name over here. Let me just increase the font a little so that it looks like a title. Yeah, now we are ready. So this circuit is indeed working as a, why I have said practical, because if you remove this resistor RS, so basically what will happen is this will become an ideal current source. So ideal current source will have a parallel will have this the source resistance, the parallel source resistance will be of infinite value. But here we have given the finite value. So a practical current source will consist of a current source in parallel with a very high resistance. So that's why it is called as a practical I to V converter. Now let us check the formula once again. So V out is equal to minus Is into Rf. So the output voltage is just a multiplication of this current over here from the current source and multiplied by this value of resistance, that is Rf. So zero point 0.1 milliamperes into 100K will be somewhere around 10 volts. So let us dynamically change this value to let's say 10, and let us see what the value of output will be. Okay, as you can see, when the value of this is changed to 10, so the value of output is reduced by a factor of 10. That is, now it is around minus 1 volt. So this circuit works and it's working perfectly fine. Let me go back to our result. Yeah, now let us talk about the sensitivity. Now the sensitivity is nothing but the gain of the circuitry. Now the gain of the circuitry is given by V out. Let me do one thing. Let me just change this value to V out only. Yeah, now it's better. So the sensitivity of the circuit will be V out divided by Is. So V out divided by Is in our case is nothing but Rf. So in this formula, if you divide V out by Is, it will get Rf basically. So that's what the sensitivity of the circuit will be. So in order to detect very low currents, that is in the range, this is current is in the range of microamperes. So let's say you have a photodiode and the measuring current capacity is around, let's say, in nanoamperes for some reason, and we are detecting you're measuring so small current at the input. So for that we have to, so for that readily converting into a output voltage, we have to select a very high value of Rf. So that is not possible with this the current circuitry, because if you go on increasing the value of Rf, obviously the bias currents of this op amp will be getting affected. So hence the operation of the circuit will also get disturbed. So that's the basic limitation of the circuitry. Let us go back to our PDF and let us understand that. So this was the, yeah. So the output current is directly proportional to the source current. As you can see over here, the proportionality constant is Rf. So V out is directly proportional to Is. And also one more thing over here, the output is independent of load connected over here. So here we can also read out from the PDF, the output is independent of load RL. That is irrespective of the next stage. So this source current Is over here, let me just keep this screen like this and keep the window also open, the LT Spice screen. Okay, now this is better. We have the circuit on the right hand side, we have the circuit in LT Spice, and on the left hand side, we have the relevant theory. So this circuit is called as the I to V converter. We have seen that the sensitivity of the circuit is that is V out upon Is. So basically this I current to voltage converter can measure or detect very low currents, and but there is a problem over here. The problem is something like this. if you want to detect very or measure very small currents, that is in nanoamperes, we need to somehow increase the value of RS. So if you want the sensitivity to be high, the solution is to increase the value of RF, but so that it can sense very weak currents and produce it in the output. But we cannot increase the value of RF significantly higher, because that will affect the bias current of the op-amp circuitry. So that's the limitation. We will see now another circuit which will overcome this limitation. Now, before going there, let us move on to a small little application of this I to V converter. So here we have a small little application, that is a photocurrent measurement. So we have a photodiode instead of a current source here. So how does the photodiode works? If the light is shined on this photodiode, it produces currents in the form of because of the response of the light in the form of photons. So current that is generated by shining light on the semiconductor device. So that is what is called as a photodiode. And this light is getting converted into a photocurrent over here. Remember, this diode is reverse bias, so we have to connect a negative bias over here. So basically, if you shine light on this, the light falls on this photodiode and it produces the photocurrent over here like this. And the this is a simple application. So the photocurrent is actually equal to the current flowing to this resistor over here, and the output is given by, now see, remember, the here in this circuitry we have the current inwards, so the sign was negative. Here the current is flowing outwards, so hence the sign will be positive. So the output current is directly proportional to the photon current multiplied by this resistance. So remember, the diode has to be reverse biased for that. So this is the example of a photocurrent detector. So this simple circuitry will detect the photocurrent of this photodiode. So that was directly the measure of the amount of light falling on this diode. And we want to calibrate this the light falling in terms of voltage. First it is converted into the first the light is getting converted into photon current, and this current is getting converted into a voltage which can be driven into a display element to display the amount of light intensity. So depending upon the light conditions falling on the photodiode, the photocurrent will flow onto the device. Now, this lecture is not about discussing more about the photodiode. It's about discussing the applications, the practical applications of a current to voltage converter. And this is one of those practical applications. Now, let us move on to the next topic. Now, we might wonder why we require I to V converter. So this is the answer to the question. So let's earlier example, we have seen a sensor which is a photodiode. So we have seen how does the photodiode works, and this photodiode is remotely placed somewhere wherein the light is continuously following, and we are continuously measuring the photocurrent. Now this current is given to a current to voltage converter, which converts this photocurrent into a voltage, and that is given to a DAC. This is your digital to analog uh, converter, which is a DAC card. So which will record the data acquisition card, which will record the data in the form of digital to analog converter. So this will log the data for the photodiode for the entire day. Let's say remotely we have placed this inside the factory, and we are remotely monitoring an application where the input sensor is the photodiode, and this is continuously monitored by this data acquisition system. So for this, in order to record the data for the photodiode for entire day, we require the data acquisition. So the input to this data acquisition is a voltage. So that's why we require a current to voltage converter, so that the input, the relevant information, that is the light falling, is getting converted into current, is getting converted into voltage, and that is what is given to the uh, data acquisition system. So hence we use here a I to V converter, so which will convert the input current to output voltage. So basically this is also called as a current control voltage source, because we are controlling the input current over here. By controlling the input current, we can control the output voltage. So that's the motivation of studying the current to voltage converter. Now let us address the problem of the weak sensitivity of this practical I to V converter. So this is the limitation of this I to V converter, that the sensitivity is not so high. Now let us look into the circuitry. Okay, so this circuit is called as high sensitive I to V converter. So we will not go into details of this. In fact, we'll directly take this circuitry and try to implement this in LT-Spice, and we'll see what are the results. So this is a high sensitivity I to V converter which will overcome this problem of detecting very low currents in the form of nanoamperes. So let us directly build up the circuitry. So what we have done is we have fast forwarded the video, and in the meanwhile I've already built up the circuitry on LT Spice just to save time. So we are not going to learn how this circuit has come and what are the mechanics of this. We are directly going to use the formula. So I just wanted to show you all screen to screen and the comparison. Let me just this direction is also reversed. So here whatever polarity we have, here the polarity will be different. So here IS is around very low, that is around 10 nanoamperes, and we have built up the circuit exactly the same way. So here is my V out, here is my IS, and so on and so forth. So let us check the formula of the circuitry. So this is the formula. So what we have done is we have written this formula down. So you remember the minus sign is missing because direction of IS is reverse. So we don't have minus sign over here. So remember that. So here we have minus sign because the direction of the current source is opposite over here to what we have done it in LT spice simulation. So your V out is will be given by K times IS times RF, where K is the sensitivity factor, which is given by this formula, that is 1 plus R2 upon R1 plus R2 upon RF. And from here we can easily say that this K into RF is my proportionality sign, and here actually there is some mistake over here. So let me just elaborate it. This RF should not be there. So let me just remove this value of RF. Yeah. So here the K into RF is the proportionality constant. Hence the output current is directly proportional to the input. Sorry, the output voltage is directly proportional to the input current over here. So we have to take care of this. So that's what we have written it over here. We have written V out is equal to IS times RF times K, and K is equal to 1 plus R2 upon R1 plus R2 upon RF. In this case, we will work out the value over here. So let us concentrate on this circuitry and let us see whether it gives you results properly or not. Now this circuit is called as high sensitivity I to V converter. So now let us check the values I have given as RF is around 100K, R1 is around 100, R2 is around 100K. So basically these values will be 1 plus R2, that is 100K divided by 100, so that will be 1K. That will be around yeah, the 100 will go, so that will be around 100, and here R2 upon RF. So R2 divided by RF. So this R2 upon R1 will be 1K, and this one is additional, and R2 upon RF will be additionally 1. So this K factor is 1002. So 1002 will be the value. You can cross check with these values. And my source current is 10 nanoamperes in this direction. So I've already built up this connections, and let us directly go to the simulation and simulate the circuit and check. So just like in the last time, I have already labeled the input and the output nodes, which should directly give you the value. So your V out is coming out to be 1.000, and the IS value is around 10 nanoamperes. So if I remove this, I'll get these values. So here this is actually I have to select it as IS. Then it will correctly come. Yeah. So this is around 9.9999 nanoamperes, which is around 10 nanoamperes, and this current, which is a very small current, is getting converted into around 1 volt over here. So if I change the value of RF, I may get a different value over here. So let us do that. If I change the value of RF as, let's say, 200K, you can verify it later. Or what I will do is, rather than changing this, I'll double the value of the source current. So I can change this value of source current to now 20 instead of 10. So my value of output voltage should also double. Let us check that. So if I run this, yes. So if input is around 20 nanoamperes, the output is accordingly changing to 2 volts as per this formula. So you can directly say that the output voltage is directly proportional to the input current. So this explains the working of this this validates the formula of this high sensitivity I to V converter, which most often we use it in practical cases for detecting or measuring very low input currents, which is to be processed and converted into a voltage. So we have completed another section, that is high sensitivity I to V converter. So next we will move on to some other topic. I think that's it for today's session. So first we have started with a practical I to V converter, and next we have seen, let me open that file. We have seen a high sensitive I to V converter. So in the next lecture, online lecture, we will see one application of this. That is, we will build up a 4-bit DAC, that is a digital to analog converter, uh, using op amp. So until then, have a good day.